On the 3rd of December 2018, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks tweeted, "One day we will wrestle the Revival and everyone will rejoice. Remember this tweet." And then 5 minutes later, Dash Wilder of the Revival tweeted, "One day we will wrestle the Young Bucks and everyone will rejoice. Remember this tweet." And today, the 10th of April 2020, they've finally been released from WWE. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, also known as the Revival, the first ever two-time NXT Tag Team Champions, former Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions, today, after over a year of contract disputes and asking for the release and being denied, and then getting a mini push only to have that mini push stripped away and being in comedy angles, like the Usos putting like deep heat in their boxers and watching them shave their backs and making fun of them and all that stuff. Everything WWE did over that time to lower their stock, taking them out of the Elimination Chamber because they wouldn't re-sign, replacing them with Lucha House Party, who, Lindsay, my boy Lindsay Dorado. Anyway, all the stuff WWE done, all the petty shit Vince McMahon done, specifically to lower their stock and make them unusable. All it did to someone who, I don't want to say a smarter wrestling fan, because that then makes me seem like I'm an arsehole. Makes me, I don't want to sound like I'm a better wrestling fan than anyone, because I'm not. No wrestling fan has more value than another, unless you're burying Smarks on Instagram and all of his followers that, oh, he's the worst, whoever he is, if you're unfamiliar with his work. He acts morally and intellectually superior to you if you watch All Elite Wrestling, because, I don't know, because maybe he thinks one day Vince McMahon's going to pat him on the head and give him a cuddle. Anyway, all the stuff that WWE done over this time to make the Revival seem less credible has, in the eyes of many fans, made them seem more credible, and it has definitely given them more creative fire when they go to wherever they're going to go. The best bet is All Elite Wrestling. They can go to the NWA, or they can go to Impact, or they can go to Ring of Honor, but they won't. They're big money guys, they're big money draws, and the big money's in All Elite Wrestling. They're the company going head to head with WWE product. They're the company that WWE have blackballed people for work, like Diamond Dallas Page have blackballed him for helping out with the setup and the running of the company and appearing for them a couple of times and even wrestling for them. They've blackballed him because of that. They have all this stuff. The closest comparison I can draw is Steve Austin when he went to ECW after being fired via FedEx from WCW. They can have that, and they want a big platform for it, and that is All Elite Wrestling. And everything that the WWE have done over the past year and a half to 2 years to try and lower their stock is going to come back to bite them on the arse. For my money, the single greatest tag team in the world today have been made a joke, all because they got injured at unfortunate times, which they cannot help. They cannot help. The 5-show week schedule that WWE has, I imagine probably had something to do with it. But because they both got injured at really unfortunate times, right at the start of the run, Vince McMahon saw them as broken toys. Vince McMahon hated them because he overworked them and they got hurt. Vince McMahon said, "There's no need for you now," and that's fueled them. That has made them want to get out so much. And honestly, like I said, for my money, the single greatest tag team in the world today, this is going to be the best thing ever happened to them. This is going to be the single best thing to happen for both of those men. But here's the thing. They were released ahead of their contracts finishing, which means the 90-day no-compete clause is a thing. But as we learned from Alberto Del Rio, it doesn't hold up in court. You just need the money to take the WWE lawyers to court to fight it. Because if you don't have a lawyer on that level, then you're not going to win the case, even though it doesn't really hold up, as we learned through Del Rio. But Tony Khan has not, he didn't do that for Brody Lee. So will he do it for the Revival? I don't think he will, but I think if he ever was going to, it would be now. Due to the current circumstances of the world right now and the empty arena shows, debuting the Revival, or whatever we're going to call them, I think they filed for the name Shatter Machine. Debuting them in front of an empty arena is quite pointless. If Double or Nothing goes ahead as planned on the dates it is planned, they will not be free from their contract then. And I hate to be cynical and sceptical, but I don't think Double or Nothing's going to go ahead as planned. I don't think everything will be good to go by then. That's just my thoughts on it. So when do you debut them? Do you wait for the big end of summer pay-per-view? If wrestling goes back to normal, May, June time, around about then, if everything goes back to normal around about then, do you wait for the August pay-per-view? Do you wait for All Out and debut them then? Personally, that's what I would do, and I would let them travel the world as much as they can and work as many independent shows as they can. Like I say, provided everything's back to normal. I would love to see them tour the American independents, work teams like the North, work all those sort of... Team Tremendous, another great, fantastic team around but the American indie scene. Danhausen and Effie team on quite a few shows. I would like to see that match personally. And then over here as well, in the UK and Ireland, the English, Scottish, Irish scene, you've got in England, you've got the Medusa Complex. If they'd be comfortable with doing intergender matches, you've got the Young Guns. You have the Anti-Fun Police, which I think would be a great match. So much talent. And then in Ireland as well, there's More Than Hype, and there's so much talent worldwide for the Revival to face. And there's not much of a plan or a structure to this video, which you've probably worked out by now. I'm just rambling and talking about what they could potentially do, what I would like to see them do. And I would like to see them do a bit of the independent circuit. Whether it's here, or America, or a little stint in Japan. Or if they could do a Moxley thing where they go out to Japan every now and then. The Guerrillas of Destiny, Finn Juice, Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. All these teams. There's so much talent out there for the Revival to finally get their hands on and show what they can do. And it is really interesting to me now that how many people after this that aren't being fully utilised will maybe say, I might go somewhere else. Because you look at Apollo Crews had a blinder of a match on Raw after WrestleMania, after not being seen forever. Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, who were, damaged goods apparently, are apparently getting a push in the tag team division now. So, I think this is going to be the most interesting test of the All Elite Wrestling versus WWE. It's not a war. Because AEW say themselves they don't care what WWE are doing. It doesn't affect their product in any way. They're going to keep on putting on the best product they can. But it's interesting to me if the Revival can leave and make all the money in the world, which they definitely can, and can put on all the best matches, which we know they can. Will WWE now start to reevaluate their creative process? Will WWE now start to look at these guys who Twitter are saying, maybe not, I don't want to say Vince is going to look on Twitter and look at complaints, but look at the fan reactions to certain guys and how unhappy a lot of fans are with ways they treat certain performers. This could be the biggest thing. This could be one of the very few things that might actually make Vince McMahon look within himself and go, we need to make a change. We need to start giving everyone a fair shake of it and not losing faith after 2 or 3 matches, like the EC3 stuff or the Cedric stuff, or there's so many. So like I say, All Elite Wrestling has to be the end goal. And if they can put on, if they're allowed the time, which they will be, against the Best Friends, Proud and Powerful, Jurassic Express, SCU, the Dark Order, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, and then obviously the Young Bucks. Will that be a big change for WWE? Will WWE see that and go, if we don't start using these guys correctly, if we don't start using our roster correctly, instead of giving, I love him, but instead of giving the Big Show a WWE title match against Drew, I know it was an easy match for Drew to win, and then cement his title with 2 wins and 2 nights against over Brock and the Big Show, but we could have got something a little bit more compelling if they'd have said Buddy Murphy, or maybe not Buddy Murphy, but someone like that. If the Raw after WrestleMania is meant to be the reset for the year, will this see them using more people if the Revival can make their money? I hope that all makes sense. I hope this video made sense. I didn't plan it. I didn't write things down. I didn't have a notes to look over. I found out about half an hour ago that the Revival had left. I was down at the shop. Came back, had my lunch, and took my phone out. So hopefully, like I say, this made sense. Hopefully the Revival do great. I wish them nothing but success in the future. Hope to see them on my TV very, very soon. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you like the Revival, you hate the Revival, you like them but you think, they went about their business the wrong way, if you're not too excited on them now because you think the shine's gone. Let me know what you think of the Revival, and if you're new here, please do subscribe. Share the video around, tell your friends if they like wrestling. If they don't bother them. Anyway, like I said, it's a quick video, quick rambling video, and I hope it did all make sense, and I'll see you in the next one.